All right, welcome. Today, we are going to dive into a powerful secret that could completely change how you think about your job, your money, and yeah, your future. It's this really simple but powerful shift in perspective that separates the people who work for money their whole lives from the ones who make money work for them. Okay, so let me kick things off with a simple question for you. When you think of McDonald's, what business do you think they're in? Just take a second. What's the first thing that comes to mind?
If you're like pretty much everyone else, you probably said hamburgers. I mean, it seems obvious, right? They sell billions of them. Well, back in 1974, the founder, Ray Kroc, was asked the same question, and he had a very different answer.
So get this. Kroc told a room full of MBA students, "I'm not in the hamburger business. My business is real estate." See, his profession was selling hamburger franchises, but his actual business, that was acquiring the valuable land underneath every single one of those golden arches. Today, McDonald's is the largest single owner of real estate in the world. The hamburgers pay the bills, but the land, that's what builds the real lasting wealth.
And that story, that story gets right to the heart of this huge mistake that so many of us make. We confuse our profession with our business. And you really need to understand they are not the same thing.
Look, your profession, that's your job, right? It's what you do to get a paycheck. It's what fills up your income statement. And whether you're a doctor, a coder, or a barista, your job, at the end of the day, is making someone else rich, the owner of the company. But your business, now that's a whole different story. That's about what you own. It's all about your asset column, and its only job is to make you rich.
And this is where so many people get trapped, right? We spend our entire lives focused on climbing the corporate ladder. We're chasing that next promotion, that next pay raise, but we never stop to ask the most important question. Hey, who actually owns this ladder I'm climbing?
And this brings us to the big one, the core lesson here. You have to mind your own business. And what does that actually mean? It just means you got to dedicate your energy to building up your asset column. It's a totally separate thing from your day job. Your job pays the bills, but minding your business, that builds your freedom.
Seriously, just think about it for a second. Most of us spend our lives working for our boss, right? Then we work for the government, paying taxes. Then we work for the bank, paying off our mortgage and credit cards. And after all those years, after decades of hard work, there's not much to show for it. Why? Because we've been busy building everyone else's assets instead of our own. See, the goal isn't just to climb the ladder, it's to own the ladder. Okay, so if the mission is to build this asset column, what exactly are we supposed to be buying? What even is a real asset? It's simple. Real assets are things that put money into your pocket, not take it out. So we're talking about stuff like businesses that you own but don't have to manage day to day. We're talking stocks, bonds, real estate that actually generates rental income, cash flow, and even royalties from things like patents or music. These are things that are out there working for you 24/7, even when you're fast asleep.
All right, now for the flip side, and this is super important. Let's talk about what is not a real asset, even though a lot of us treat them like one. That car you love, that brand new phone, those expensive clothes, I hate to break it to you, but they're not assets. They are liabilities, big time. They don't put money in your pocket, they pull money out of it, and their value almost always just goes down.
Want a perfect, kind of painful example? A brand new car. The second you drive it off that lot, poof, it loses something like 25% of its value. Just gone. An asset is supposed to grow or make you money, not just evaporate into thin air.
Okay, so does this mean you're supposed to live like a monk and never have any nice things? Absolutely not. Not at all. The wealthy buy luxuries too, but here's the secret. They buy them last. The poor and middle class, we tend to buy them first, usually on credit, to try and look rich. It's all about the timing.
So check out the smart way to do it. There's this great story about Robert Kiyosaki's wife, Kim. She wanted a new Mercedes, but she didn't just go out and buy it. Nope. First, she put her money to work in her real estate portfolio. She waited and she waited until the extra cash flow, the passive income from her rental properties, was enough to cover the car payment. Her assets literally bought the luxury for her. The car wasn't a liability. It was a trophy, a reward for investing smart. Man, I love this quote. It just completely changes how you think about money. Think about that. When you spend $1, it's gone. Bye-bye. But when you invest that dollar, when you put it into your asset column, you've just hired a tiny little employee. And that employee works for you 24 hours a day, and its children, the income it produces, can work for you too, for generations.
Okay, so let's tie all of this together.
How do you actually start making your money work for you instead of you always working for it?
The advice here is actually super simple, and you can start today. Don't quit your day job. Seriously, keep it. Be the best employee you can be. But, and this is the important part, start thinking of your salary as a tool. A tool for one single purpose, to build your asset column. Use that income to buy real assets, not more liabilities that just lose value.
So here's what it all boils down to. The big difference, the big secret, is just focus. The rich focus on their asset columns. Everybody else focuses on their income statements. Your job, your mission, is to mind your own business. And by that I mean your asset column. You don't have to get it perfect right away. You just have to start. Start small, but please start now.
And that really just leaves us with one final, very personal question to think about. Right now, in your life, is your money your loyal employee, or is it your master? Because how you answer that question, that's going to determine your entire financial future.